I'll burn the pancakes and probably the house too, but baby, it's stuck to me like glue.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Reflections of Evelyn, episode 18. This will be a shorty but goodie. Let's just say I was having a little bit of some problems with some quality of dating and sexual lovers, I guess you will call them. I'll admit, I'm new to this dating thing. You know, it's very difficult, and I get stuck in between this place where I'm like, okay, if I'm not going to find a partner in 5, 10, 15 years, you still got to get your needs met, right? So regardless if I'm dating someone or if I'm fucking somebody, I still have standards of what I'm looking for. And I don't really want to stray away from those standards. So I had a guy friend that I reconnected with after like 6 years. We were friends since I was like 20 years old. And so we reconnected, and the attitude he was kind of giving me was like, yeah, we're friends. And he basically said like, yeah, like girls hurt me, so I don't date and I don't trust them. And so I'm like, okay, well, sure. Yeah, we have good chemistry or whatever, or did like a bajillion years ago. You know, when our schedules align, we can kind of work on something. Well, I tried to like tell him what I was feeling in a particular moment, and it did not go so well. Update on the doctor's appointment. I'm fine. They were benign tumors, thank God. But still, it was a good reminder for me to care a little bit more about the quality of people that I even let around me, let alone touch me. So this is a conversation that I shared with a friend. And yeah, let's just say it didn't go very well. It did not go. Actually, it went exactly the way I thought it would, to be honest. But, you know, his responses were typical chody guys that don't want anything serious response. So, you know, unfortunately, we didn't reconnect, but I think that kind of saved me from making grave mistakes in the future. And I think the whole point of this episode is dating is a new thing for me. I haven't really dated since before my marriage. So that would have been before 20 years old. And I've been trying the last 5 years, but, you know, I was kind of hung up on a guy for a while and finally reached the acceptance phase of that one. And so, you know, here I am off to the races. And there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with him. It's just some people aren't necessarily a good match. And, you know, I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and he's like, I'm just so frustrated because these girls that I sleep with, they all want to be in relationships with me once they find out I'm a great guy, but I just want to have sex with them. And I'm mad because they have their sex buddies, but they don't want to be sex buddies with me. They want to be in committed relationships. And I'm like, man, that's like not the issue that I have. And it's funny, he'll drive 40 miles away to see these, quote, friends with benefits. And he said with one of his friends, I guess she was really good at giving favors. And so that alone was like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to take us to the spa. And he sent me a picture of him at the spa. And I'm like, damn, you treat your friends with benefits very well. Like, what? I can't even get a guy to buy me a burrito. And you are driving to them. You're getting them mani-pedis. And you're buying them dinner. Like, what the fuck am I missing here? And it's funny because every person has a different kind of experience, and we're all in different parts of our journey. This is just me trying to figure out mine. And I think I'm getting a lot closer based off this message, but we'll see what you guys have to say about that. So welcome to Reflections of Evelyn, episode 18. Here you go. Let me know what you think. Hey, so I just wanted to give you some education coming from a female, and I want to apologize in advance if I sound a little heated. It is very common for a man to say, well, look, I have these beautiful test results. But so many men don't realize that a lot of women want to wear protection, not just to prevent a baby, but for also STDs. So I was reminded again today, because we live in a sexist world, men do not get screened or tested for HPV. However, they are the carriers and the ones we get it from. So 8 out of 10 women have HPV. It's very common. There are over 200 strands of it, and there are only roughly 14 of them that are cancerous and dangerous if you do not get the vaccine when you're a child. I did get the vaccine when I was a child, which means I'm either going to be okay when I get my test results on the 11th, or I have one of the most harmful strands of HPV that lead to cancer. Obviously, we are going to hope for the best, but when I have to miss 4 days of work because a friend lied to me, because he was ignorant and did not understand that respecting a woman who says, please wear a condom, it makes me so mad to then hear another guy, who is you, say, oh, but do we have to wear condoms? I might have cancer because of comments like that. So I'm a little pissed, and I am upgrading the type of men that I sleep with. And if condoms are a problem, if sex with me is a problem, if the distance or feeding me is a problem, please find a woman that will happily have sex with you without a condom, who lives closer to you, but I will not be shamed and guilted one more fucking time about fucking condoms. This is not like a guy versus girls sexist thing, but the fact that guys, a lot of guys, most of the guys I have known have given me so much fucking shit about condoms, but they aren't the one missing $1,000 worth of work. They're the ones spreading it. I just found out that through my insurance, I can't get condoms because the insurance company works with one company, and that company went MIA and doesn't really exist anymore. And condoms after COVID went up in price. It is hard enough for me to find a man to date, let alone a guy that's willing to bring their own condoms. And they don't want to pay for condoms. They don't want to pay for safety and protection. They don't really care because it doesn't really bother or affect them. But now I have to go through 4 different appointments and hope that this very rare strand that they're looking for is not cancerous, because then I have to go into treatments to make sure it doesn't become ovarian cancer. And okay, sure, I might survive from all of this, but some people don't do their jobs. And I oftentimes am the type of person that is invisible and I fall through the cracks. I don't want to say I'm invisible, but I have a history of falling through the cracks with medical, with law enforcement. I mean, the list goes on. So the fact that I was at the doctor for an extra 45 minutes, just making sure they had my results, making sure they had me, calling around all these pharmacies because the providers could not figure out why they couldn't fill an order for condoms. So yes, I wanted to go through my insurance because I don't want to be paying for protection. I already have an IUD. which is birth control. Can't a man provide a fucking condom? Where is a man's headspace lately? Where, I don't want to pay for sex. Am I a prostitute? Like, what's the problem? Do some men, which I'm finding out is more common now, you all have your flesh toys and you'd rather have a you would rather pay for a fucking toy, you would rather pay for a subscription to porn or watch porn than to appreciate a body. I'm sorry that you're getting the brunt of this right now, but for you to call me and be like, oh, well, I mean, is condoms gonna, do we have to? I can show you my test results. I'm just trying to educate you. Because test results isn't the problem. Test results don't screen for HPV. I don't give a shit if it's condom. If I'm that rare, delicate snowflake that could potentially having to miss 4 appointments over something that's super common and not a big deal, and I'm that rare case, and all I do is get shit from men, and I have to buy the condoms, I have to have the IUD, and then it's already on top of that, it's a problem where I live, and you don't want to make any efforts. As I'm saying this, I don't even want to have sex. I don't. And from your perspective, you're like, well, it's not that I don't want to date. I just don't trust women. I'm sorry you think that all women are the same. But you treating me like every woman in your past history is not fucking cool to me. I know that you might be a bad texter. I get that human connection and lovemaking is not important to a lot of males or maybe females anymore. But I give a shit about lovemaking and sex and kissing and cuddling and lots and lots and lots and lots of regular sex. I am a fucking dream for a lot of men. I want food that doesn't have to be expensive and safe, good lovemaking. And that is fucking impossible without so many men griping about condoms, not wanting to use it. Maybe they'll have it for 1 or 2 times, and then all of a sudden on the 3rd or 4th time, whoopsie, condoms. No. Not okay. To have gotten that phone call from you, for you to be like, I don't want to date, I don't want to hang out as friends, I'm a bad texter. Basically, you're telling me I have little to no effort, and you don't want to do any more than the bare minimum. And you also want to make me feel like a pile of shit for wanting to protect myself because I have missed $1,000 from how many doctor's appointments I've had because I don't get reimbursed for sick days. So if today wasn't enough of a bitch for them to go through a more thorough exam with me, they said, no, it can't be over the phone because this is more serious. You need to go in person for these results. So I get to miss even more work. So I just want you to know where I'm coming from. When you say, do we have to wear condoms? You can kind of just trust me attitude and I can show you my results. Yeah, I trusted my friend who was also my mentor. And now I have this fucking issue. As one of my very good friends said to me in the past, DTA, don't trust anyone. It sucks to have that kind of attitude, but it is so fucked up that a $10 burrito and $2 for a condom is too fucking much for the last several guys that have been in my life. Kissing and cuddling, whoa, girlfriend, you're asking way too much. Touch your vagina, whoa, but you can go down on me. I'm just so fucking sick of this shit. And this is not some like feminist girl power thing, and I hate that it's sounding like this, but what the fuck? We live in a society where men pass HPV, they spread it around, they don't get tested for it, and then people like me are susceptible to fucking cancer. It's not like this can go away on its own. It could. But the fact that I've had 4 appointments because they're like, yeah, it's abnormal. We just don't get it. Like, yeah, you have the same thing as everybody else in society right now. But, yeah, we're going to have you keep coming back because it might actually be dangerous for you. Like, you could die from this. The rest of the world's going to be fine from it. But, like, the 0.5% of the population, like you, yeah, you could get cancer from this. So fucking frustrating. Then to have a guy who I haven't talked to in 6 years be like, yeah, I just want low effort sex. And yeah, food is fine, but, well, yeah, we can wait until after your appointment to have sex, but like, do we have to have condoms? Can't you just like trust me that my results are fine? You know how shitty that makes me feel and what that says about you? It's disgusting. So, just telling you this now so that you can make the executive decision that you want to find somebody else to sleep with because I'm too much work and effort. Yeah, so please go find less. Take care of yourself. I'm wishing you well. Shalom.
All right, it's your turn. Let's do this. I know how to love, 'cause in my dreams I was taught by you. I know how to love, 'cause in my dreams I was taught by you. Spend a little time with me, and maybe you will see